providing modest comfort for Cayman travelers. Reserve space now on the only billboard medium in the Cayman Islands. Email rotaryshelters@gmail.com. rotaryshelters@gmail.com. The Bus Shelters, a partner in community convenience. Another inspiration program by Rotary Central Cayman Islands.
Radio Cayman's historical vignettes was brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects.
Talk Today is brought to you by Subway, open 24 hours in Countryside, Anderson Square in Georgetown, and Centennial Towers in West Bay. And by the Ministry of District Administration. Explore your history, explore your land, explore your sister islands. And Cayman Airways. Call them on 949-2311 to book your nonstop flights to Los Angeles and Panama. And Doctors Hospital. Peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctors Hospital, always there for you. Call 949-6066.
But I do have some questions.
There are more questions than answers.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners participation program.
Talk Today.
What is on your mind, Cayman? If you are ready to talk, we are ready to listen. Here's your host, Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
Hey, welcome and thank you so much for joining us on another fantastic Friday's edition of Talk Today. My good friend hailing from the East, Shane Noby Edwards, going to sit and enjoy the company. How are you, man? You okay?
All right, man.
He sounds so good.
They can hear me. Right.
Talk louder, man. Shout.
Good.
It's on a microphone, yeah. No, we can start things off with our friends from the Clifton Hunter High School for just a couple of minutes. And then Noby and I will get into it. And then around about 1 o'clock, hopefully a call from the National Weather Service to tell us, why we should pay attention to them and nothing else. So stay tuned for Talk Today.
Talk Today is reminding you.
Avoid any statements or comments which are abusive, derogatory, malicious, or defamatory. Do not use indecent language or make any statement that is false or misleading. Call 1-800-534-8255, 949-6990, 949-8037, or WhatsApp us on 925-3261.
Email Talk Today at candw.ky. Let your voice be heard.
And now, back to Sterling Dwayne Ebanks. Radio Cayman Talk Today.
Hey, welcome back and thanks for joining us. And it's always a pleasure to be able to help to highlight, support, and promote the things that happen in our schools. And with Miss Michelle Powell. You come in often and wear many hats, and this is something that we have to commend our parents and the staffers in the community who consciously and consistently give in such a considerate way to our community. So, Miss Michelle, today I'm reminding myself, I even wrote it down. I can't read it though, but anyway, I wrote it down. We're talking about high school PTA and the Clifton Hunter in particular, and that's that. How are you?
I am doing well, thank you.
For our listeners, would you introduce rank and no.
Okay, so my name is Michelle Powell. I am the fundraising director for the Clifton Hunter High School PTA.
And this is how effective, right, and efficient this PTA not only has a fundraising director, but an assistant. So when we were there, it was one of us, and we did it all. But nowadays, man, we can delegate and that devolution of power. You have to?
Yeah, we have a lot of children.
All right.
So it's good when you have more than one person that is able to step in as needed.
All right. Well, that's Mr. Akide Rodriguez. Now, we want you to properly introduce yourself. Welcome. How are you?
I am very good, thank you. My name is Orquídea Rodriguez, and I am the fundraising director assistant of the Clifton Hunter High School.
And I like how she's putting that down with her. No, but this is the joy that I think we find in school after we graduate. We didn't see it then we were there. So we want to bring that back to our students, our children, to remind them that these are the best years of their lives. But as a community, we can come out and share, help you to raise funds, but also be reminded of the importance of investing in our children, not just building the infrastructure, but getting them to enjoy learning in and out of the classroom. Okay, Michelle, I know time is ticking, they say, so tell us why we're here and what we're going to do and how we can help.
We are here because the Clifton Hunter High School PTA is putting on a Back to School Fun Fest next week, Saturday, the 28th of September, from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. And I know there's a lot of things happening around our community, but this is very important because all proceeds that we raise goes towards purchasing and installing student lockers.
Okay.
Yes. So we are doing our part by ensuring that our kids are, we help the load that they carry to school on a daily basis.
And I think this is despite what we see in, that foolish television screen that we spend too much time watching. Oh, we're live. But these lockers actually help children,
Yeah.
They keep their books. They feel that they have a sense of space. To you and through you, Ms. Orchidea, tell us,
Oh, definitely. It helps them with privacy and personal boundaries as well.
Yeah.
In addition to having a space where they can keep their books and their school supplies, they don't have to carry them to and from school and during the day for long periods of time. Books are heavy.
Books are heavy and important.
And they carry a laptop to school. So it's required. So, if you visit the Clifton Hunter High School campus, you will see from point A to point B, it's a very far walk. And if they can actually have a central area where they can store those books, that would be very good for everyone, including the teachers, so they don't have to be chasing behind students. Did you bring your book? Where's your book? Where's this? Where's that? It's all located right at the school.
But then the benefit too of, I can just imagine I have a bag with books weighing down. Doesn't matter how strong you are, that's probably going to put pressure.
After a while, it does. It does.
Nobi? See? Glad we didn't go to school. I just kidding. So we can help with the fundraiser. Come on, what can we do?
You can support. So we're selling tickets. And tickets are on sale for $10 per raffle ticket. Lots of amazing prizes. We have the first prize of like $500, and we have spa services, restaurants. But at the Fun Fest, this is where everything goes down. We have something for everyone. We have, if you're interested in cars, there's a car show that's going to be there for the day. If you're interested in fashion, there's a fashion show happening. If you're hungry, we have fish fry, we have finger foods, we have snacks, we have baked goods, we have the cookie jar we have everything.
Yeah,
everything is literally
live DJ, local entertainment.
Listen, it is something for everyone, and it's just a day for the family to come out, enjoy themselves, and the police will be there as well too. They'll have a presence, the fire truck.
Fire truck.
Yes.
Yeah.
So come out with a family and spend a day.
So all next Saturday.
Yes, from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m.
Many of us are doing much, but Nobi, we could probably find time.
Sounds great.
Sounds great.
Yeah.
Wish you were a student again.
Yeah, I've never heard of an event happening there before, so it should be nice.
Yes.
Well, this is a fantastic PT. You got a director and a director's assistant.
Do you know that they have a Olympic-sized pool up there? And they haven't been using it as much as they should really use it.
They use it for PE. Yeah.
No, I'm saying that it could be used for so much things.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
But,
we'll talk about it after the leave.
No, but I'm saying he can do so much things there, that people haven't thought about.
I do want to recognize our outgoing fundraising director, Miss Monique Trail. She is really the mastermind behind the startup and progress of this Fun Fest. So I do want to tell her thank you publicly. And I do hope to see you both there and your families. And friends.
Both of them? At the same time?
Yes. We have enough presents
you
there.
You have a lot. No, but this is where the fun is, right? When the whole community comes out. So I'm glad that you can make some time, share with us. Hopefully, as a community, we're always supportive of, but there are ways that we can always feel like we can do more and just come spend time.
Just asking a question. Like, I know that there's certain things that the government doesn't cover that the PTA falls into. So I mean, these are all pretty important stuff. So are there other stuff that you all would have been doing fundraising for, or there's stuff that's going to be coming up? I mean, that you might be want to do it other than just, I think you said just for the lockers right now, right?
You see, this is a dynamic
PTA,
PTA, right? And they recognize the importance of complementing. So we support it.
No, but I mean, there's a lot of things that the PTA would raise funds for, right? There's some other stuff, right? Because
there's a lot of things that's needed within the school. A lot of school improvements. We do have areas where we need to purchase additional bins. Garbage bins, covered bins, because what we realize is the open bins attract bees. So we are trying to procure, funds for bins. We need benches somewhere that the children can sit and have their lunch. So if anyone who can build benches for, at a free cost.
Or would like to sponsor some the garbage bins.
So we're always looking for assistance. So we have a project, like a project line that we are the new committee. So the new executive committee has just been elected in. So once we have all the needs of the school, we'll definitely have that available for everyone to see.
And this is where that partner. Nobby, thanks for sharing up, because this is where that partnership always comes in, right? We recognize that even with a scholarship, parents and the students always need to find some complementary funds. It's never a full amount. So if we can partner with you, from the lockers to the bins to the other, we can do stuff, and we can do it together. We're benefiting our students.
I mean, we honestly can't rely on the government for every single thing. I mean, I guess it's overwhelming, So as parents, we're not paying school fees. So, they're gracious enough to fund meals for the students. And, we can take whatever it is that we would have spent on school meals and support the PTA and the initiatives to better the school.
Contribute in the way we can, and I'm hoping that we can have this partnership, and then through you, by extension, the wider community sees a much enhanced school community, not just safer, but the students themselves see the importance of it. Mr. Arkady, what do you want to share with us as we close out? Because looking forward to you guys coming on.
We would
often.
like to thank our sponsors, because without them, this couldn't be possible. So thank you so much to our sponsors. It's greatly appreciated, and come out and support.
Next Saturday,
28th.
All right.
At the Clifton Hunter High School.
And for those who don't know, that's out that way. Right?
Old Frankstown. And I should definitely say that the admission is free. We just want you to support the vendors that's there.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, thanks. And we joke and jest, but we understand that there's the parents who, through the investment, makes a difference in the lives of the children, So our partnership with the school, maybe we can do something together. So thanks very much.
Thank you.
All right. So next Saturday, the Clifton Hunter High School is having a wonderful opportunity. Hopefully before the week is out next week, we get a chance to remind you again. Now, we're going to pause. Nobody's going to sit with me, right? You going to still stay? You changing your mind?
Yeah.
All right.
Almost.
I got him chained to the chair, so he can't go nowhere. But I saw Mr. Caripori earlier. Hopefully he can pop in and share with us a little bit about stuff. We'll find him. But in any event, we want you to call and share your thoughts with us. So stay tuned for Talk Today.
Did you know ordering your favorite sandwich from Subway just got easier? Yeah, picture this. No more waiting in line. No more fussing with cash. Just the delicious taste of Subway at your fingertips. With our new app, ordering your go-to sub is as easy as a few taps on your phone. Plus, receive exclusive deals and earn loyalty points with every purchase made on the app. Download the new Subway app today and get ready to ditch the lines and drive straight into your flavor. Visit the App Store or Google Play Store on your mobile phone and search for Subway Cayman Islands. Subway. Eat fresh.
You deserve a unique vacation this year, one with easy non-stop flights from Cayman. Cayman Airways offers more non-stop flights to and from the Cayman Islands than any other airline. Now you can add Panama and Los Angeles to your travel bucket list. Skip the hassle of connecting flights. Panama is just a 2-hour non-stop flight from Cayman. And Los Angeles? Get there in less than 5 hours non-stop aboard Cayman Airways. Call 949-2311 or visit CaymanAirways.com to book your Los Angeles or Panama getaway today.
Accidents and illnesses can strike without warning. Ouch! When it comes to urgent care, every second counts. At Doctors Hospital, we have a dedicated team of experienced doctors and nursing staff available to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Don't waste time in an overcrowded emergency room when you need urgent care. Whether it's a broken bone, a severe infection, or a sudden illness, trust in Doctors Hospital's unwavering dedication to providing the best immediate care. For complete urgent care when you need it the most, choose Doctors Hospital, located in Georgetown, 16 Middle Road.
When it comes to weekly meal prep, I trust Kirk Market to provide the best value for quality proteins. The butchers at Kirk Market are super helpful. They always slice my steaks perfectly. Kirk Market has everything I need for healthy and flavorful protein-packed meals. From lean cuts of CAB choice beef, tender CAB prime beef, the juiciest pork, and all-natural hormone-free poultry, to their seafood section with everything from fresh local snapper to omega-3 rich salmon. I choose Kirk Market for the highest quality proteins to support my healthy lifestyle. Kirk Market. Eat well, live well, and discover a world of choice.
A caring and community spirit, cherished family and cultural values. These are some of the things that still embodies the Caymanian way of life in the Eastern Districts today. Savannah Pharmacy, your neighborhood pharmacy, located in Countryside Shopping Village, is delighted to offer products and services of real value. Whether it's catering to your family's medical needs or carrying apparel, gifts, and beauty products, Savannah Pharmacy provides you with more than just prescriptions. Remember, they're always just around the corner with everything your family needs and convenient opening hours, including Sundays and holidays. Savannah Pharmacy. For more information, call 946-3336.
Prescription refills made easy at Savannah Pharmacy. WhatsApp your prescription refills to 929-5045.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Hey, welcome back, and thanks for joining us. And again, a special thanks and definitely public display of gratitude to all of our PTAs and parents who, through partnership with the wider community, invest heavily in our students. And as we get into our next little discussion, nobody makes the drive, man. So I'm glad that you making time with us, man. All is well?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good, man. That's good. This government, it works good. As you know, we're sharing with you the chief meteorologist of the Cayman National Weather Service, Mr. Kerry Pori. Thank you for popping in, joining with us, and it's always good to have you guys in the studio. I can't say daily because I think it's like 10 times a day we get information from you, if not more.
Yeah,
it's a lot of work, but thanks for keeping us, updated and informed about any sort of weather condition. Excited to hear from you today, with your presence being here. So welcome, sir.
Thank you. Here we spoke about there's been some information concerning a potential system developing in our area. Some of the figures have been a bit alarming and has raised the concern. Just want to inform the public that the National Weather Service has been monitoring this same area. And now the National Hurricane Center has identified this whole area over the Northwest Caribbean for potential development.
Okay.
But it still has a low to medium % chance of developing over the next 7 days.
Okay.
So that looks into early next week, right? There isn't a clear picture of what eventually will happen, but from our point of view, it will be a rain event that we have to consider for.
A lot of rain.
Okay. The start of the week.
Okay. What time? In case I do my hair. So we don't need... Okay, I'll get that point later. People like to, as if it's an exact thing, right? And then get their puppies in a twist. But so start of the week-ish.
Yeah,
lots of rain.
We looking from about Sunday through at least Wednesday into Thursday potentially, with the peak happening around Monday, Tuesday area. So again, it's all tied into what eventually will happen with this disturbed area of weather over the Northwest Caribbean.
Okay.
Right. From our point of view, over that period from Sunday to Thursday, the current predictions are seeing about 5 to 7 inches of rainfall for Grand Cayman, 4 to 6 for the sister islands. The trends have been downgrading the values, which is a good thing, and shifting the potential development of the system further west. All of those are key factors that will help reduce any final numbers that do occur.
Okay.
Right? But for now, we have to run with those numbers until the next model comes in and give us a different prediction.
Yeah.
Right? Additional concern is that we run in higher than normal tides. Some people call them king tides, and we have had at least one report of noted potential saltwater intrusion towards the Rackley Canal, North Sound Estates area. Over
That's
the last
relatively low line anyway.
Yes.
Right.
So areas that have previously historically been impacted by king tides, they should be taking extra precaution, given that we're expecting rainfall to occur along with these tides. Again, from an infrastructure point of view, all our drains are tied to the, unfortunately, to the tide level.
Yeah.
So if the tides are high, there won't be sufficient space for the water to run off and drain away.
Yeah, we could do what we did last time, pump from one side of the road to the next. And for people to say making jest, but this is how it is, right? Why is this important to us, Mr. Potter? I mean, your presence here. Why is that?
It's it's twofold. We coming into the weekend, so we want to prepare people in advance, but at the same time, we don't want to sound too alarmist. And give off the wrong impression. So we take our time, try to evaluate the situation and the impacts, particularly to our islands, before we proceed and give a statement. But rest assured that we have been communicating with other government departments within, and we're developing plans and strategies to help reduce some of the mitigation.
I would like through you maybe help me, and I'll explain my perspective, right? So I got my brothers and sisters who they love the weather. They seem to have a grasp of it. And preparation is key. Before the hurricane season officially starts, they've already got things in gear. As you and your team at the National Weather Service always says, be prepared. To be forewarned is to be forewarned. Don't wait till the last minute. But then there's another side to the coin where this weather system I think we're talking about. Was it last weekend we saw little iterations of it from different people making comments in that space that we call social media. Some from people, and guide me if I have this incorrect, seemingly profess to have a certain level of acumen, some level of credentials or what. If you listen to words carefully, it could be interpreted that they're a bit hyperbolic, they're a bit exaggerated. For some, that may result in them being scared. Very much like the traditional accepted news media, when you hear the talking head making stuff and that, you go, really? So for me, I thought this would be an opportune time to remind us. I don't listen to that stuff, not because I don't have time or interest, but if you guys at the National Weather Service isn't giving something, then am I wrong in only giving credence to the official source, you guys in particular? Is that improper for me to do?
There's merit in getting the outside sources. Right? But again, the official information should be something that's, or someone who is trusted. Right? Someone, well, I like to say that our motto should potentially change to say, well, we'll weather the weather together. Because we're here with you. Right? But we take in consideration, again, your point of view that some of the pieces might be put out there to sensationalize themselves, get likes and subscriptions and those type of things,
Yeah.
right? I'm not discrediting the information provided, but is the perhaps the presentation that is given that may portray the wrong potential, not wrong messaging, but the incorrect interpretation of the messaging.
Yeah. And it could be scary.
Yes.
For those who don't know. And Nobi?
No, just that what I see happening is that a lot of people are, of course, this is like slow period because we know, I mean, when you're talking about tourism, right? Because we already know what happens during this time of year, right? Hurricanes. But it seems like a lot of people are banking their vacation and they look to see whether it's going to be rainy or storm or what have you. And, you know, I've seen guests come and they're very concerned whether it's going to be good or, you know, weather for them. So I think that those kind of things will actually influence how people, you know, their vacation. Yeah. And they might say, well, I don't want to come to Cayman because this is going to happen. And that's really probably a good thing that we're talking about it, that we have a different perspective.
Yeah.
Or Cayman Islands Weather Service has a different perspective.
Yeah. Our perspective is, like I said, the models itself gives you one result.
Yeah.
And there might not be consistency between results.
Yeah. Is there any particular model that maybe, you know, over sort of extended period demonstrated to be more consistent, more accurate, perhaps more trustworthy, if I can, because after all, it is a model, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
To that answer, no.
No. Okay.
It's actually they're dealing with weather changes, so the model has to change. So during certain periods of the year, some work better. Specifically with hurricanes, one model might outperform another, but overall, another model might have gotten the overall picture somewhat correct, as opposed to the one that was spot on this date, what's going to happen. But one may have a more consistent track and overall perform better, right? But might not have the exact hit the bullseye on the exact rainfall figures, wind speeds, that type of thing. So it's a you have to analyze all the data.
Yeah.
You have to analyze what the model is interpreting as what's happening now to be able to figure out if it's thinking along the lines that nature would behave, right? Like I mentioned, for this system, we have had inconsistency with one particular model, right? 1 minute is want to tell us, for example, less than 2 inches, and then 6 or 12 hours later is telling us 6 inches.
Okay.
So we can't go to the public and say it's going to rain anything between 2 and 6 inches, and then the next forecast comes out and you say, no, we're not going to get any rain. Our credibility would be shot. So the problems with model is that they base their future projection on what they expect right now. So the further they go into the future, the error grows, because you're kind of estimating what's happening now, then you estimate what's happening next. Yeah. So if you had a ruler and it just had inches, and you're trying to calculate something in centimeters, right? If you don't have the conversion right, you could measure whatever it is accurately in inches, but to refine it to millimeters, you would cause some errors, right? Or like say if you only had a measuring stick and you had to measure the distance, right? You said 12 sticks reach me to where I need to go, but you're not sure of that measuring stick. Yeah. You know, so that's some of the problems that, and we build our confidence by looking at those projections far ahead, and then we build more confidence seeing the consistency of the models and the overall progression of what the outputs are. And we compare with other models as well to see, because some would stray drastically from the others, and sometimes we just have to go down the middle and say, this is what we expect.
All right. We got to take a break. You want to come back and spend a couple minutes as we go up to the headlines at 1?
That's fine.
All right. Join us. See, Nobi, Fridays, things can be fluid. We want you to be a part of the discussion. The phone lines are open. If you want, Mr. Power will sit with us and we'll tell you why. Stay tuned for Talk Today.
Find your dream car with a Cayman National Vehicle Loan. Enjoy 100% financing, up to 8-year repayment, and a 7% fixed interest rate for the first 5 years. For eco-friendly cars, we'll waive your commitment fee. This only applies to new vehicles. Call 949-8300 or email lending@caymannational.com today.
The rich flavors of Italy just arrived at Subway. Say ciao to the Italianos. Our 3 new Subway series recipes, carefully crafted with an Italian flair. Try the Hot Shot Italiano for an enticing and zesty touch. The tastier than ever Ultimate BMT, generously stuffed with a mix of ham, pepperoni, and salami. Or go all in with the creamy chicken bacon Alfredo. New Subway series Italianos. Chef-crafted greatness in every bite. Elevate your game only at Subway. Delizioso.
You deserve a unique vacation this year, one with easy non-stop flights from Cayman. Cayman Airways offers more non-stop flights to and from the Cayman Islands than any other airline. Now you can add Panama and Los Angeles to your travel bucket list. Skip the hassle of connecting flights. Panama is just a 2-hour non-stop flight from Cayman. And Los Angeles? Get there in less than 5 hours non-stop aboard Cayman Airways. Call 949-2311 or visit CaymanAirways.com to book your Los Angeles or Panama getaway today.
Did you know that Doctors Hospital provides urgent care services 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? And Doctors Hospital's urgent care physicians have access to the most advanced MRI and CT imaging in the Caribbean, providing reliable diagnostics when you need it most. When you need quality urgent care for an illness or injury, Doctors Hospital is here for you 24/7. Whether it's a migraine, chest or abdominal pain, shortness of breath, broken bones, or another urgent need, Doctors Hospital at the top of Walker's Road. Urgent care right now.
Ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, the Super American Circus is coming to Grand Cayman with 8 exciting shows from October 4th to 6th, all under the big top at Compass Green, North Sound Road. Get ready for daring acrobats, high wire walker Blake Wallenda, stunt bikes in the Ball of Steel, aerial ballet, and more breathtaking performances. Tickets $25 for kids and $45 for adults, on sale now at eventpro.ky. Proudly benefiting ARC and 1-to-1. Brought to you by the Ministry of Tourism and Ports, Cayman Airways, the Ministry of Border Control, Labor and Culture, Digicel, the Ministry of Health and Wellness, and Coca-Cola.
Wouldn't it have been grand if you had purchased land 30 years ago? It may not be 2020, but a perfect vision has never been more clear. Cayman Brac and Little Cayman, poised for growth with an eye on the future. Your land, your history, your future. Discover all that our sister islands have to offer.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Hey, welcome back and thanks for joining us. And in the studio, Chief Meteorologist at the Cayman's National Weather Service, Mr. Carol Porter, joins us. And at a few more minutes until 1, and then Nobi, you and I, maybe we can talk about the things we could talk about. But I want to commend the public service and all of our civil servants in particular, and you guys over at the National Weather Service. The responsiveness, the information that you send out to all of us, whether we're subscribers or not, the service is invaluable. We recognize the career opportunities. We see the importance to our aviation sector and the significant importance. But from the community perspective, seeing that some video or presenter or the like says something and has been consistent saying this, now has that in your sort of space created the same level of angst as I'm seeing from others who now become a little bit sort of, I gotta say, frightened?
It does raise the alarm on some people. Again, it may not be that the message is wrong, but it's how the message is delivered and the interpretation taken from that message, right? We, as a service and part of the government, have been looking in terms of our communication strategy to try to bridge that gap, and we're still working on it. right? We have done some slight adjustments. You may see the WhatsApp channel
Mhm.
now is stay in our arsenal, but there's that gap as you mentioned between what's being posted on social media. Social media it's a little too rapid of a response, too fluid of a platform. Right?
They find it fluid. Like something. Anyway.
Right. So the context for those platforms has to be different from, say, potentially the written format that traditional forecasts have come out.
Right.
So we are not at the stage yet to be able to concentrate in these other areas to extend our communication, but we are working with through our administrative cabinet office to improve in these areas. But our information, we take great pride in making sure that it is confident from our part, it's reliable, and it if it becomes reliable and the people build confidence from our products, then we hope that the necessary actions taken by the public for safety reasons will be followed,
right?
And then mitigation of disasters and impacts are reduced that way.
I like your diplomacy. I always admire the way you speak candidly, but with so much diplomacy. For me, as I said at the outset, like I dismiss some of that stuff, rely on the official source, and as you shared, if you have some of the credible things, that's good. So I got my brothers. They can distill this information. They look at you guys, and if I get a call from them saying we need to pay a little bit more closer attention, that's a trusted source over the decades, right? But even the Weather Channel, I find it to be inflammatory. I find it to be sensationalistic. Sometimes it could rip that channel off the air and would miss it because it serves no purpose other than to scare people of everything. With you guys, timely, accurate, factual analysis about something that is somewhat subjective, somewhat science-based, but it's a forecast. And if you do budgeting forecasting with numbers, you know that it's not something that you can set in stone, right?
Yeah, even with your best efforts, the latest model, your forecast could bust.
All right. So how do we now, as sensible people, look, distill, figure out, be sensible in responding, but don't get what my friends say, knickers in a twist? I mean, and people are like chickens with their head chopped off.
It's a learning curve, and like I said, from our point of view, we're looking at strategies to try to bridge that gap between what's put out there and the pace that is being put out, and us being able to say something on the matter.
Okay.
Again, you have to understand that we could say the same things they're saying, but because if it changes from day to day, our credibility will be harmed.
Yeah.
Right? If we say we expect 5 inches of rainfall today, right, and then this evening forecast telling me, turn around and tell you you're getting less than 1 inch of rainfall, then you're like, what are they doing?
Yeah.
They can't get it right. So I'll stop listening to them.
Yeah.
Right? As opposed to these other sources, their aim might be different from ours.
This more commercialized, right?
Yes.
Like the Weather Channel. I mean, so I'm hearing you trust but verify. All right. I think we have a caller. Hey, welcome. Thanks for joining us in the studio, the Chief Meteorologist, Mr. Kara Powery, and together, sitting quietly but always pensive, Nobi. Hey, welcome. Thanks for calling.
Yeah, good afternoon to you, Sterling.
And to you.
To your Chief Med Officer, and to Nobi, good afternoon to you, gentlemen.
Afternoon.
I hope you all can hear me well. I'm trying out these new little air things that I got in my ears.
Sorry, what do you say?
So.
We can hear you, man. 5x5.
Awesome.
Right.
I didn't catch the first part of why the Chief Med Officer is there, but I'm picking sense from nonsense.
Hey!
I'm trying to deduce based on also information I received from last week last week and underscore that last week.
Yeah.
And then what you're discussing now, and I wanted to clarify it for those of us who have missed it. So, is the chief med officer there because we're expecting a system? In short.
In short, there's an area that the National Hurricane Center is looking at over the Northwest Caribbean. It has a low to medium chance of developing into early next week. For the Cayman Islands, whatever develops, we don't anticipate it being that impactful to us. What we are concerned more about for the early part of next week is potential heavy rainfall figures. And that's looking from Sunday through at least Thursday.
I don't want to waste your time because now that you say that, I'm certain to be looking out, and I know you guys are doing an awesome job. I guess you've confirmed then what I really want to ask in my mind then. So I seen from last week these predictions that I gather, again, deducing from what you were just talking about. These predictions from well-known meteorologists, and had no reason to dispute it or otherwise. But I said to myself in common sense, well, I know our Met Office would be looking at things, and they can only concern themselves with things that are on the screen. At least that's what I said in my mind, because he was talking about something that wasn't on the screen. And so my question would be to Mr. Pare, from an educational standpoint, is how does a Met person, in the case of the gentleman who's on social media, how does he talk, or how do they talk about something that we can't see on the screen coming in another week or two? And you don't have to go so high level, and I was trying to understand how do they talk about something that doesn't exist? And to your very last point about bridging, I understand what you were trying to say there, but well done for you guys taking your time with that, because a couple of weeks ago, I noticed that the America NOAA site had up a few systems that were coming off of Africa. And of course, people were starting to send those around. And within days, they were fizzled out. And when I went back the next day, they were all gone and disappeared. And so I was like, you have to be careful about, like you just said, in terms of credibility, what you're dealing with. And I don't know if you're waiting, if part of that bridging gap, you're waiting on for something to be actually on the screen for people to see. I don't know how you're going to determine that. But thank you for letting us know.
Thanks for the comment. To answer your question, the models that are available could extend for a couple of weeks, in honest truth. And as I was alluding to previously, the models, how they operate, they make one prediction, and then the next prediction is based on that last prediction. So if you have an error from the very start, that error would continue to grow as you go in time. So for confidence-wise, the National Weather Service like that 5-day period. But we know the public is interested in longer period. Right. So the 7-day outlook are now becoming more, the models are becoming a little more accurate in those periods. So we're beginning to trust them a little bit more, and we are extending our predictions to the 7-day. If you go to our website, we have a 7-day forecast in graphic forms, and we put it on our Facebook page as well. So again, the models continue to improve. We noticed this from even hurricane model in itself. Before they used to go to 3 days. Then they expanded it to 5 days. Now we are at the cusp there that we're potentially looking at that at 7 days. But again, that takes a lot of research, and then you will have to from NAC perspective, have a lot of social media context review, that type of thing, to see how the people would take it and how we make those adjustments. So models continue to change, but again, the basic concept is that they build on the previous step. So if one of those steps is misaligned, then your solution would obviously be at some level incorrect or inappropriate for what you're looking for.
Well, we appreciate your time here, and in person in particular, but if by phone if necessary, keep us updated, and hopefully, from what I'm hearing from you is, no cause for alarm at this stage. Expect some rain. If you're in low-lying areas and you suspect or you have known that you're prone to flooding, take mitigating measures. If you're unsure, reach out to HMCI, maybe even inquire with the Met Office. Rain between Sunday and Thursday possibly, higher than normal tides. My takeaway, stay away from the Weather Channel, but that's just good advice.
And the seas becoming rough. Basically from Tuesday through at least Wednesday.
Okay.
They become rough,
So
especially on the east to southeast side of all the islands, roughly.
East to southeast. So in Grand Cayman, that would be from where to where now? In case we don't know what east and southeast.
Basically, east end, all the way potentially to Georgetown.
Okay. So when you come around and pull it down, okay. That's why I always enjoy your company, sir. You make me laugh because we realize how important it is to have a sense of levity with, learning. So thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Have a wonderful weekend. Stay dry when the rain comes.
It's gonna be a busy weekend for me.
It mightn't be for me though. All right. Nobby, thanks for your compliment. When we come back, let's chat. I'll put something on the table and you keep me on the right path. How about that? All right. To our listeners, join us after the break.
Since 1976.
Covering Grand Cayman, no Cayman, Cayman right. One small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands. From Radio Cayman's newsroom, this is Headlines. Local, regional, international news.
The Headline News is brought to you by Kirk Market and Health Services Authority.
With your latest headlines, I'm Felicia Rankin-Solins. HSM has hired 2 people from their internship program. Havari Pearson has joined HSM IP Limited as an intellectual property assistant, and Alani Morgan has joined HSM Corporate Services Limited as a compliance assistant. They originally joined the firm as SciFec interns from October 2023 through April 2024 and recently completed HSM's 2024 summer internship program. In international news, schools in Niger will start the new academic year almost a month late because of heavy rainfall and flooding, says the military government. Several schools have been affected and others are being occupied by those impacted, a government spokesperson said on the state-run broadcaster. Authorities have pushed the start date from 2nd to the 28th of October. Over the last few weeks, the West African country has been battered by relentless downpours, resulting in over 300 deaths, either due to drowning or buildings collapsing, according to the Interior Ministry. Scandinavian Airlines has said one of its flights had to make an emergency landing after a mouse scurried out of a passenger's in-flight meal on Wednesday. The plane was traveling from Norway's capital Oslo to the Spanish city of Malaga and was forced to make an emergency landing in Copenhagen, Denmark. The diversion was in line with company procedures, as the furry stowaway posed a safety risk. Passengers on the flight were later flown to Malaga on a different aircraft. Airlines usually have strict restrictions involving rodents on board planes in order to prevent electrical wiring being chewed through. These are your headlines. I'm Felicia Rankin-Solins.
More news available at www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Check out our social media pages: Facebook, YouTube, X, formerly Twitter, Radio Cayman Headline News.
When it comes to weekly meal prep, I trust Kirk Market to provide the best value for quality proteins. The butchers at Kirk Market are super helpful. They always slice my steaks perfectly. Kirk Market has everything I need for healthy and flavorful protein-packed meals. From lean cuts of CAB choice beef, tender CAB prime beef, the juiciest pork, and all-natural hormone-free poultry, to their seafood section with everything from fresh local snapper to omega-3 rich salmon. I choose Kirk Market for the highest quality proteins to support my healthy lifestyle. Kirk Market. Eat well, live well, and discover a world of choice.
The Health Services Authority would like to thank you, the Cayman community, for voting us the Best of Cayman Islands 2024 in 13 medical categories. As the largest and longest healthcare provider in the Cayman Islands, we have been caring for you for many generations, helping the people of our islands live longer, healthier, and happier lives. At HSA, we are committed to caring for you. For more information, visit hsa.ky or call 949-8600.
Radio Cayman is pleased to feature this special Sister Islands historical vignette brought to you by the Ministry of District Administration and Lands. Explore your history, explore your land, explore your Sister Islands.
On the 6th of December, 1960, at 8:20 a.m., the St. Clair petrol vessel from National Bulk Carriers was 950 miles off of Trinidad, carrying 29 Caymanians. The ship was rocked by 4 separate explosions in the space of just 30 seconds, causing various parts of the ship to erupt in fire. The first explosion was in the bow of the ship, the second in the number 4 hatch, the third in the number 11 hatch, with the fourth in the aft tunnel doors. Vigorous attempts were made to extinguish the intense flames, but with no success, and the captain gave the signal to abandon ship, and the crew filled up and lowered the 2 remaining lifeboats into the water. Following a head count, it was discovered that 2 crew members were missing and unfortunately were never seen again. The lifeboats were tied together and a sea anchor was cast out to prevent the boats from drifting too quickly. The St. Clair sank that afternoon, and the men continued to drift at sea for hours until being rescued that night by the English ship named the Mary Ellen Conway with an Italian crew. The men were transported to Brazil, where they were later flown home via Trinidad and Jamaica.
Radio Cayman is pleased to feature this special Sister Islands historical vignette brought to you by the Ministry of District Administration and Lands. Explore your history, explore your land, explore your Sister Islands.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Hey, welcome and thanks very much for joining us. And thanks again to the Cayman's National Weather Service and the Chief Meteorologist, Mr. Karapori, for just stopping in with us for a bit, reminding us that despite what may be out there on social media, always be attentive. He said, my takeaway, trust but verify, don't dismiss it. He certainly advises, paying attention to official sources and some rain coming through, higher tides, rough seas, so let's be safe and sensible. Nobi, thanks for sitting with me, man. Thank you for taking some time out of your day, and through our discussion, hopefully others will find similar sort of encouragement to speak to some of the issues in our society, but also to challenge, as well as champion the things we think are important.
Yeah.
So I really appreciate it, man. It's through this interaction.
Yeah, well, kind of busy, so it just trying to.
Well, but this is, thank you for saying that. This is why it's so important, because we are collectively very, very busy. Individually, some of us are stressed. The demands and expectations from our employer, or maybe we are, the sole proprietor. The demands of, of the day that dictate and define what is it that we were supposed to have completed last week.
Yeah.
And so I understand from your perspective, we're busy. I say publicly, thanks for coming in and reminding us. We still need to think. We still need to talk. Yeah. But we also need to do properly.
Yeah. Well, it's been a while. So, we're back at this again.
Yeah. Let me ask you, and 2 things. First and foremost, the idea, since it's been such a long time, in the Cayman context, and if you want to extend that to regional and global, but what are some of the things you see happening, either were done, weren't done, things that need to be done, that are so fundamental, so crucial, that it could affect our stability, economically, politically, socially, or sort of, financial ability as well, from the Cayman context. I mean, you a businessman, you're an accountant, but you're also astutely aware of what's taking place. Anything that kind of, gets you looking at it and go
Why so much things?
Yeah.
You don't want to be coming across as complaining about stuff, but things are there. No, just one. The first thing is just what gets me a little bit concerned is just the residency by investment, and what's happening in terms of the people getting permanent residency. There's just a lot of different areas there that I think we need to get on the ball with that might be a potential effect on us. One of the things I'm understanding that there's a mounting number of people who've made submissions to become, get their residency, and they didn't get through, so therefore they're putting a suit in court on the government. So I don't know what's going to happen in that respect, All right. So we're if you're talking about cost, you're talking about issues down the line, we're going to be seeing something there. Mm-hmm. If they're already submitting, a plaint in the court about their situation.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you, and to what extent are you familiar with that program? I mean, do you know a lot about it?
No.
Do you know where to go and access it to find it? Ridley, I mean...
I really don't know much about it, to be honest.
The reason why I say that, and hopefully, somebody who listens often will say, I'm surprised you don't know these things. Sometimes some of us know a little bit more than we share. And we'll say it, and others go, know it all. Sometimes we don't say it and go, I'm surprised you don't know it. Just because you know something, it doesn't mean necessarily you share. Or they say, well, good for eat, not good for talk, right? But beyond that, the idea that things that perhaps should be more readily available, easier to access, and in the public domain more consistently. That residency by investment, for instance. Today's Friday, right? So if I dismiss Monday and Tuesday and just count these last 3 days, and this one is only halfway through, the amount of people that have asked the question about that is surprising. So I'm trying to think now, have you seen something somewhere where people are talking about it more? Because I haven't, but...
No.
Okay.
And it's just what's happening is people are talking about it on the road.
Yeah.
And in public, in these little discussions. And not only that, we're seeing new people becoming residents, and we're wondering why is this happening? How is that happening? Okay. People are seeing a really big change in what we considered our Cayman society for many years.
So, going on the premise that I have little or no insight into it, right, and wanting to learn, I was listening to some individuals who were asking, do you realize that it was like pennies, like a pittance? One fella said if his uncle was still around, he called that trophy, a little penny him, right, for twopence. So it's little or nothing that you can get this thing of great value. It has, you don't need to pay any much money, at least to the government, at least. So his view was, we're paying people to take the place. We're giving away everything. Would that be a over-exaggerated statement, an inflammatory one?
Well, that's the difficulty, because you need to understand if people are making submissions because to the court, that means there's some grounds for them to make that submission.
Okay.
And that's concerning.
All right.
So if that's the case, that they don't have a proper structure of issuing these things and all that, we have to, I think the government has to, or somebody has to address it soon.
So what if I say to you, and of course to our listeners, it's raining outside, please be safe everywhere. If you're like me, you're concerned about getting your hair wet, well, get a towel, it'll dry off. Phone lines are open, 949-8037, 949-6990. You can WhatsApp call 925-3261. We want to hear from you, and just this first part of the discussion with Nobi, this residency investment, would it surprise you in that last discussion I had, one individual said, but wait a minute, a government has something on offer, you apply for it, you don't get it, then what right do you have? You applied for it. It's not like something was taken from you. Would that be, to you, reasonable, unreasonable?
All I can say is that with the with the use of lawyers, everything is possible.
Okay.
So the thing is, if laws aren't written in a way that it makes it Not possible, then there is an opening.
So if anybody's listening, right, who wants to be, and no, we didn't know this conversation for the record. He wasn't privy to it. You weren't there. One of the individuals was a lawyer. Another was lawyer-esque. And the view shared was that with lawyers, like economists, you have opinions, and a lawyer before the court can make a very, very persuasive argument to convince the judge, the jury, and the like. And depending on the presentation and the skillfulness, it could go one way or the other, right? And thought, from what I gathered, that sometimes in our legislation, we're not mindful enough. Or worse, are we so skilled that we may use language either oblivious to the impact or very deliberate to ensure that the outcome is exactly as we intended because of the use of a word or maybe the removal of words. Now, to people who draft legislation and who deal with it, perhaps understand that much more than, say, the rest of us. But to your point, that argument could result in something in favor of someone or not. So what do we do?
Well, this is a reason why I think the big step for a lot of people who are wealthy or a lot of people who are knowledgeable, that they want to make that step into politics. Because the only how you can have an influence in a law is if you're the drafter or if you're a legislator, right?
Right. Okay.
Because ultimately, that's where the inputs come from, right?
Right.
Well, I mean, they get it from all this stuff, but then it has to be table. That's why they're actually there as, or members of parliament, or, they serve that position of reviewing the laws and ensuring that the laws are there to protect the interests of who? The people, the voters, right? We all hope and pray that means the Caymanian.
Yeah.
Now that whole word is changed, right?
But there is, in what you said, something that even we are ignoring. But let's go back to the two groups, the legislators, the parliamentarians, or the drafts, the legislative drafting personnel. If I'm to extrapolate from what you shared, the parliamentarian must either be equipped or have sufficient resource to ensure that whatever the intent is as much as possible reflected in the actual drafting, and then whatever amendments are made in the committee stages as the bill goes through, as various readings. But also then the person drafting the legislation must have a level of insight, competence, and the like. Would you not agree?
Yeah, but what I've seen is that sometimes though, I guess I'm trying to get this clear. There's two facets. You got law and you got regulations.
Well, that's
what I have to overall.
So when you said that, right, you said the law, but then there's regulations and there are policies, and to what extent some of those things are deployed in such a way that they, was lawyers talking about, that sort of legislation sometimes trumping the law, right? It's subordinate legislation. We have a call, though, Nobi. Let's see if we can find a way down the path. Let's do it, man.
Let's go.
As we go to the phones, hey, welcome. Thanks for calling.
Good afternoon to you, Sterling Dwayne, and to that well-respected, honorable Caymanian there with you.
How are you, sir?
Just fine, thank you.
you.
Sorry I didn't get to catch our meteorological expert.
Yes, sir. Yes.
I wanted to ask him about, there is no defined center of that system, and therefore I wondered why they aren't issuing coordinates, which they can normally do, whether it's going to develop into a cyclone or not. I mean, it's not a perfect circle, it's all over the ellipsoid. And I just wondered about giving the coordinates out might be a little bit alleviating people. They can trace it on the movement, the speed it's moving at, direction, whether it's west, south, west, or going west, northwest, or etc. in between west, northwest by north, or so forth. Anyhow, I wondered about that. I'm glad he came on to alleviate because people are using social media and everything nowadays. Nobody's interacting with each other. It's a group sitting down there all on their cell phones.
Mm-hmm.
That's the future of our country, and it's hard to say, but there's no personal dialogue. It's mostly cell phone. Anyhow, I'm from the older generation, and of course that's a far different day, man. 50 years ago, completely different. And I'm light years away from that. The business of these residences and statuses, it's all our doing with writing the Constitution. I've always been very skeptical of two things in the Constitution, and I still remain very, very skeptical. One is a human rights issue, and we say international human rights, which we know is a meaningless sort of terminology or nomenclature, because each country has some rights and they consider their own rights. Muslim, Islamic countries and so forth, where women are considered a little bit better than animals. And if they break the dress code, they're gone to prison for they're wearing their clothes or their headdress the wrong way or something like that. And no women can be involved in anything. In many of those giant countries that produce a lot of oil and so forth, which is the lifeblood of our planet. We don't want to admit it, but that's how it is. Strongest commodity, the most important material commodity. And the other one is the religious freedom of religion. Because it fooled again, like we're talking about the weather reporting, a lot of people thought it meant freedom of denomination, not freedom of religion. A lot of people were thinking about that. Christianity is not a religion. Jesus himself said so. He said, I'm the way. It's a way of life. Nothing to do with religion. He was persecuted by religious leaders all his life, sentenced to death by them. The way to heaven.
Mm-hmm.
Now, with this human rights thing, we have a choice where we could make it much more difficult. Other countries have done it. I think Bermuda's constitution is far more advanced in that respect. And we can select who we want and don't want. Great Britain has more or less given us that kind of option or, decision power to make good decisions, but we haven't pushed it. And if we don't push the envelope with our constitution, we will end up by being from third to fourth class citizens. We will. We have to push the envelope and say this is what we want. We're in a powerful position now economically, as you all know. Everybody's running and coming here. And, of course, avoid paying taxes. We know that. They can say what they want, sun, and sea. You can get that mostly in any Caribbean. But it's all about the tax system and so forth. I won't bother to go into that because everybody knows how I feel about that. But that's the way that we've decided we're moving. That we can push that constitution and give ourselves more rights. Our Caymanian people, by that I mean generational Caymanians, we can give us ourselves. It can be done. We just need courage and strength from our elected representatives. That's all we need, to have that courage to say this is how we're going to set it and stand up and say it. So I'm sure the British government will give us more latitude. I'm pretty sure of that. But we won't do it. We simply won't push it. When they try to push it, we hear, they're trying to change the Constitution. And it was a good thing to do. It was a good thing to try to eke out certain things and certain more, privileges for ourselves. It may seem like nonsense what I'm saying, but in a few years we will seat. We hear people getting up now and saying that we're third-class citizens and they're very worried and concerned. Well, we have to push the Constitution and make sure that every aspect of it that give us special privileges, I'm talking about for Caymanians, that we get them. We get them, and we get the British government to agree to them. It can be done. Bermuda did it many years ago, maybe for the wrong reason, but now it's worked out for the right reason. And we can do it. There's no reason why we can't. That's my little take for today.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much for listening to me.
Oh, thank
Have
you.
a wonderful day.
Thank you with that. We're going to take a commercial, but nobody, you want to say anything, my friend?
No, I mean, the gentleman has some, good points as always, but, he probably clearly points out that we're probably not ready for any of those changes or serious changes as yet, because the politicians don't want to do anything.
Maybe we're ready, but there's no will.
But yeah, it's just the point here is that I don't want anybody out there to get the wrong idea that I'm this guy to say there shouldn't be any permanent residents, there shouldn't be anybody getting Caymanian status or residency or what have you. That's not the case. If we're getting sued, the government, which is me, which is all of us, because we got paid for it down the line. If we're having issues within our community with people feeling that they're no longer considered anything, they can't survive. No, people can't even buy property because of all this stuff that's going on.
Caymanians, you mean?
Caymanians,
Yeah.
right?
Okay.
Now you got to be something that you have to look into.
Mm-hmm.
How do we stop this? How do we stop getting sued? I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know the full breadth of it, but I really think it's one of those things that they need to work at.
Well, let's continue with the phone calls after this break. Pause. Please join us after.
Yeah.
Accidents and illnesses can strike without warning. Ouch! When it comes to urgent care, every second counts. At Doctors Hospital, we have a dedicated team of experienced doctors and nursing staff available to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Don't waste time in an overcrowded emergency room when you need urgent care. Whether it's a broken bone, a severe infection, or a sudden illness, trust in Doctors Hospital's unwavering dedication to providing the best immediate care. For complete urgent care when you need it the most, choose Doctors Hospital, located in Georgetown, 16 Middle Road.
You deserve a unique vacation this year, one with easy non-stop flights from Cayman. Cayman Airways offers more non-stop flights to and from the Cayman Islands than any other airline. Now you can add Panama and Los Angeles to your travel bucket list. Skip the hassle of connecting flights. Panama is just a 2-hour non-stop flight from Cayman. And Los Angeles? Get there in less than 5 hours non-stop aboard Cayman Airways. Call 949-2311 or visit CaymanAirways.com to book your Los Angeles or Panama getaway today.
Hey, Cayman, have you heard? The Ministry of Tourism and Ports has launched the Visitors Experience Development Grant Program. This program is specifically for Caymanians looking to provide a new product or service to visitors of the Cayman Islands. Successful applicants may receive up to 50,000 CI dollars in funding to be used for business-related expenditures. To find out more information and to apply, visit ourcayman.ky/VEDGP. That's ourcayman.ky/VEDGP.
Refer a friend and get $50 to spend when your friend or family member opens a personal account with Cayman National. From July 9th to September 30th, 2024, C&B customers can earn $50 for each referral who opens an individual or joint personal account. Earn up to $500 with a maximum of 10 referrals. Visit CaymanNational.com for more details on this promotion and follow us on social media for updates. Terms and conditions apply.
The sale you've been waiting for is here. Brand Source Home Gallery's custom closet and kitchen cabinet sale is now through September 30th. Save 20% on closets, pantries, Murphy beds, wall units, media centers, and that long overdue kitchen cabinet makeover. Our designers will create your dream closet or kitchen. Choose from our in-stock selection or special order and have installed before December. Shop now and save 20% with Brand Source Home Gallery's custom closet and kitchen cabinet sale. Hurry, sale ends September 30th. Visit us at 209 Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park, or call 623-5000.
The DVDL Customer Support Unit is now open. Customers can book appointments for written and driving tests through DVDL's hotline at 945-8344. That's 945-8344.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Hey, welcome back. And thank you very much for joining us on this fantastic Friday. In the studio with us is Sheen, Nobi, Edwards, and Nobi. A couple of calls on the lines. Let's go to the phones. Hey, good afternoon. Welcome. Thank you for calling.
Good afternoon, Dwayne and Mr. Nobi.
Good afternoon, sir. How are you?
Fine, thank you. Well, there are some issues, the more you discuss it, the more frustrated people become, but the more you need to talk about it. You know?
Indeed.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Now,
need to talk about it. Need to talk about it until somebody start realizing that it's important.
Well, exactly. Although they do realize that it is important, I think just nobody has squeezed them enough for them to do it, even if they don't want to do it. So it seems to me, in fact, I was having a discussion with a friend of mine, Kemalian friend of mine, who we were talking about that very thing. What do you do when your leaders know what has to be done? They know what you are clamoring for, but they don't want to do it. What do you do? So he was saying, tell me?
Sorry for cutting you.
Yeah.
Well, this is election year now coming up, so we really, it might be that you just gotta wait. You know how that is, right?
Well, the election year, yes, it is important, but I have moved away from any idea that in Cayman elections will change anything. There's need for people action. Elections haven't changed anything since I've been associated with Cayman through 2003. Now, I wanted to pick up on what the last caller said about human rights and pushing the envelope. If you listened to the discussion today OC had on his show together with the Deputy Governor and the Honorable Kenneth Bryan, it sums up exactly what the frustration of the certain people is, who are represented by Kenneth Bryan, and also how the establishment, which is represented by Deputy Governor, sorry to say, will never get anything done. Okay? It came out during that show. Mr. Kenneth Bryan read out some statistics. He said, in the civil service, there are 4,678 people in the civil service. And of those people, 68% were Caymanian, and only 1,303, that is 32%, are non-Caymanian. Now, the truth of the matter is that 68% covers status holders, okay? Because somehow in Cayman, a decision has been made that the statistics are not going to show who is an indigenous Caymanian and who is not an indigenous Caymanian. Exactly, because a lady, a Caymanian young lady, I forget her name, I attended her webinar a few months ago when she was about to graduate. And she said that in the workforce in the Cayman Islands, government and private sector, Caymanians constitute, like indigenous Caymanians, constitute only 28%. So that's like about a little better than 1 in 4. And when you look at those things, and you look at what the Deputy Governor was saying today, it just shows you why there's a problem and why he was differing with Kenneth Bryan. Because, for example, the Deputy Governor said that there is a law. He didn't say which law it is. He says there's a law which says that a returning Caymanian graduate doesn't have to compete for a job in government. And even O.C. Connor, who has worked in immigration in government for a long time, he said, how many people know that law? Now, I'm not even quite sure that law exists. Maybe it is just a policy. But even if it's a policy, clearly it's not being applied, because why are people saying that their kids and grandkids can't get jobs? And then they talked about, but you see, the policy policy to employ Caymanians, and the deputy governor said, oh, but you see, under the public service management law, if two people are roughly equal in qualifications, a Caymanian and a non-Caymanian, you give the job to the Caymanian. I mean, to me, I think it was embarrassing even for the deputy governor to say that, because what advantage does that give you?
Yep.
There is no country in the world where they do it like that. What they say in other countries is that if there is a local person who qualifies for the job, it doesn't matter whether you've got a foreigner who is qualified 3 or 4 times better. You give it to the local person, because otherwise, how do they get experience? And O.C. Connor then said, well, look, why don't you then put it in legislation what is supposed to happen, like in terms of like if you want to create quotas and so on and so forth. And the deputy governor's response was, oh, but you see, if we put it in legislation, I don't know if the governor is going to agree to it. Do you see? Is he pushing the envelope? No, this is what the last caller is talking about. You have to push the envelope. You have to go out there and be able to say, this is what we want.
Mm-hmm.
You see, you've got things like, socially, a Caymanian is an ethnic Caymanian to me. Any other person is a status holder, although in the law they've tried to lump it together. The truth of the matter is, I don't care whether somebody came from the UK, from Jamaica, from Africa, and comes to Cayman when they are 20, 25 years. They will never be an ethnic Caymanian, okay? And they will never be an ethnic Caymanian. They'll have status. So to me, the ethnic Caymanian always has priority. But then some of us foolish ones, we threw in our lot with the ethnic Caymanians to say, these are the ones who are hosting me, but in the end, we wound up also being victimized. So at the end of the day, the problem is the lack of will. That's why, for me, I think people have to start thinking of doing petition, marching to the glass house, lawfully, of course, and peacefully. That's what you have to do, because how many elections have there been held in the Cayman Islands, and you are talking about the same issue? Even me, a foreigner who came to Cayman in 2003, I'm kind of sick and tired of talking about the same things. How about you, as Caymanians who've been there long before me? At the end of the day, let me wind up on this. At the end of the day, as Caymanians, you have given up your country, and you need to take it back, not to throw people out, but you need to take it back. Your politicians have let you down, and it is time you started to hold them accountable through not just legislation, but you have to now, through people action, to force them to do that which they don't want to do, because they've all been sold out. I thank you very much.
Thank you very much, man.
Thank you.
We've got a couple of calls, Nobi. If you want to weigh in, go right ahead, man.
Well, the first part I wanted to point out to him is that, I kind of, I see a lot where he's coming from, right? But I remember when I came back, you yourself came back from university, we had a scholarship, and we were placed within government.
You were bonded, right?
Right, we were bonded. And I think that there was one government that changed that, because there were a lot of people that wanted to go outside and they were bonded or what have you. But I think that's where it all happened, that now the government doesn't provide a place for people to come back to work within government. And I don't know why they did it, other than the fact that there were so much people asking, to be released from their bonds. There were a lot of different areas like that,
Yeah. Well, so a lot of talk sometimes that misinforms, right, and deliberately deceives.
Yeah.
You want to take these next calls? All
go ahead,
right.
bro.
Hey, welcome. Thanks for calling.
Good afternoon, Dwayne. Good afternoon to your colleague and to all our listeners.
Hey, Mr. Raymond, sir, how are you?
Yes, sir. Hi. Against the weather here, not feeling so good, but I had to take time out to really put out something that I need everyone of the Cayman Island population to listen carefully. I have an advisory to notify persons of what we could be faced with in getting products to the Cayman Islands. The United States Longshoremen's Association is planning to strike at the 1st of October that will halt production and exports and imports to all ports in the United States. After the 30th of September this month, their 6-year contract expires, and they're demanding for a new contract to be issued to them and an increase in wages, and they have all decided among the 45,000 dock workers from Maine on the East Coast to Texas, including Miami, where all our goods are loaded and transported from Miami, Port Everglades, West Palm Beach, Tampa, and all of those places. So this is something looming that is a massive importance and significance that we need to be concerned about, and all those persons in the Cayman Islands who are needing to bring in products to get at it, as you hear me talk here today, and try get your goods, building materials, foodstuffs, or whatever shipped from United States before this may happen, because they're saying that they are going to walk off their jobs if their demands are not met by the 30th of September. Come the 1st of October, that's according to the president of the International Longshoremen's Association, and that is controlled. Otherwise, United States Maritime Alliance is the one that needs to coordinate things and get an increase in their salary and get their contract renewed. And also, there's not any hope of government involvement. Government's involvement in the United States have been dashed, as administrative officials this week promised that President Joe Biden does not intend to invoke a federal law known as the Taft-Hartley law that could prevent workers or bring back workers on the job from after they walk off during an 80-day cooling off period. And they say 1 day of a strike with all these dock workers, it would take 2 weeks to get the backlog of containerized cargo and groceries back flowing again. 1 day shut down, and a 2-week strike would be until next year before the ports in the United States would be back up the volume of having things done. So that is one serious thing, which is a very great concern, and we have to wait and see. But now the companies, all the major companies in America, have spent billions of dollars extra buying from Korea, China, Japan, Thailand, Vietnam, and all those places. And container ships are on their way, and car carriers and heavy equipment ships bringing everything that they can to get to the United States before the deadline of September the 30th. Right now we have the second biggest heavy equipment ship in the world, loaded with excavators, bulldozers, and some of everything type of equipment, crossing through the Caribbean, going to Brunswick, South Carolina, and one going to Savannah, Georgia. And the container ships are coming by the dozens. Right now there are about 150,000 containers en route to the United States that will be coming through the Caribbean, and lots of them will be passing west to Grand Cayman, going to Miami, Tampa, Houston, New Orleans, and all of those ports. So that is something for all of us to be very concerned about.
Yeah. Well, Mr. Raymond, always you seem to be in a timely perspective when it comes to the maritime affairs. Hopefully, that can be stayed off. But thanks for keeping it in the fore. Respectfully, we'll just quickly pause. We'll join the other callers after. Stay tuned for Talk Today.
You deserve a unique vacation this year, one with easy non-stop flights from Cayman. Cayman Airways offers more non-stop flights to and from the Cayman Islands than any other airline. Now you can add Panama and Los Angeles to your travel bucket list. Skip the hassle of connecting flights. Panama is just a 2-hour non-stop flight from Cayman. And Los Angeles? Get there in less than 5 hours non-stop aboard Cayman Airways. Call 949-2311 or visit CaymanAirways.com to book your Los Angeles or Panama getaway today.
Did you know that Doctors Hospital provides urgent care services 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? And Doctors Hospital's urgent care physicians have access to the most advanced MRI and CT imaging in the Caribbean, providing reliable diagnostics when you need it most. When you need quality urgent care for an illness or injury, Doctors Hospital is here for you 24/7. Whether it's a migraine, chest or abdominal pain, shortness of breath, broken bones, or another urgent need, Doctors Hospital at the top of Walker's Road. Urgent care right now.
The Ministry of Tourism and Ports has launched the Visitors Experience Development Grant Program. This program is specifically for Caymanians looking to provide a new product or service to visitors of the Cayman Islands. Successful applicants may receive up to 50,000 CI dollars in funding to be used for business-related expenditures. To find out more information on this and to apply, be sure to visit www.ourcayman.ky/VEDGP. That's the website, ourcayman.ky/VEDGP.
Explore your history. Explore your land. Explore your sister islands, the ultimate staycation experience. Your culture, your freedom, the land that time forgot isn't gone. It's your sister islands.
Discover all that our sister islands have to offer.
She hear clunk and her car stop. I was just about to send her some money, so I send it straight to her JN money transfer card. It cost me less, and perhaps she use the card, pay the garage right away. She'll get discount through the JN Rewards program in Jamaica. This card make things easy. You can even get funds at any multi-link ATM.
JN Money Transfer Card. Fast, affordable, convenient. Tell your loved ones in Jamaica about it. Sign up is free.
Discover your dream home with Cayman National's home loan. Get up to 95% financing, repayment up to 40 years, and just a 0.5% commitment fee. Your interest rate? Depending on your risk factors, it'll be fixed or variable. Plus, you get a pre-approved credit card. This is a limited time offer. Dial 949-8300 or email lending@caymannational.com today.
Marketers, creatives, and visionaries, are you ready to be inspired? Join SIMPA's 11th annual marketing conference, The Connect Experience, under the theme Icons and Innovators, October 11th and 12th at Hotel Indigo. Discover the latest trends in marketing innovation, sharpen your skills in hands-on workshops, and connect with industry leaders who are changing the game. Plus, celebrate the best of Cayman's marketing and creative professionals at SIMPA's Awards Gala, honoring the icons and innovators in the field. Don't miss out. Secure your tickets online at simpa.ky/events.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Hey, welcome back, and thanks for joining us, and thanks to Nobi for keeping my company and encouraging and inspiring the discussion as we take this next call. Hey, welcome, thanks for calling.
Good afternoon, Mr. Sterling.
Hey, how are you today, my friend?
Not too bad, sir. Not too bad yourself.
Oh, man, always good to hear from you.
Okay, Mr. Nobi, how are you doing?
All right, good afternoon.
we shared a little bit of cheese and crackers with Nobi, man, because you have to extend that hospitality, you know. But he didn't realize they were hot.
What about chocolate?
No, he is a good friend, but he's not that close. The chocolate is only a bit, you know.
Okay, couple of points.
Yes, sir.
One first, I was hoping to get on before Billy called, but it seems like on Fridays I'm always following him.
Well, you know, if he leads you astray, laugh with it. You know, if you follow and he's taking a good path, you know, help to beat it.
Yeah, but one thing he did say, and I think Nobi might have somewhat alluded to it. Okay, elections are coming up, but like Billy said, mate, we've had numerous elections since he arrived here almost 20 years ago. But has things really changed? If you look at history in different countries, nothing has really changed unless the people sort of took things in their own hands. I'm not talking about doing anything violent, no. But get out there and show the elected representatives that what they are doing is not what we elected them there for.
Mm-hmm.
So, peaceful resistance, public resistance, yes, is probably the only way you're going to get some meaningful change in these islands. Having said that, go ahead.
No. I don't want to put you off the path. I have a question.
No, go ahead.
Okay, thank you. He also shared that if a foreign national, my use of words, was to align with the Caymanian, then that foreign national becomes victimized, ostracized, otherwise treated like the Caymanian, discredited, disparages, disenfranchised, all the things that seemingly amount to disrespect and being almost discouraged.
Yes, that is a real possibility, unfortunately. But if those persons who are so like-minded choose not to do it, you'll probably find even some Caymanians who will not do that, take an extra step because of the same fear. That being said, if we don't take some action, then don't complain. Because we've changed a number of faces within the political directorate. But again, has things really changed? Are Caymanians much better off today than they were 10 years ago? And if the answer is no, why not? With all the economic successes that we continue to brag about, are Caymanians that much better off?
Do you think we collectively, we understand how to measure that? What metrics we apply? How do we determine whether we're better off? It may sound like a simple, stupid question, and sometimes those are the best ones to ask, but do you think we know? And if not, what would we use to measure, to ascertain, to decide whether or not we are better off?
Well, we develop those systems and processes so that we can measure at the end of the day, yes, did we meet these targets? Yes, no. We met some because we could. We met some because we couldn't for whatever reason. But we have to develop those targets. I mean, for example, the buzzword now is sustainability. A sustainable Cayman.
Right.
So what would that look like? What would a sustainable Cayman look like? But a number of people, almost every other word that comes out of their mouth is sustainable.
Yeah. Again.
Define it.
Yeah. We're saying stuff, repeating like parrots without any presence of mind to understand what's being shared. Can I ask you then, right? Let's take two individuals. One makes $5,000 a month. The other makes $1,000 a month. Who's better off?
Well, it makes $5,000 financially.
Okay. So let me give you some more data. The one who's making $5,000 a month is $6,000 in the whole year a month and shortfall by $1,000. The one who's making $1,000 a month has the full $1,000 to spend, to do, save, whatever she wants. Who's better off?
I don't quite follow that because if someone got makes $5,000 a month.
So there's a shortfall. They make $5,000, but their expenses are $6,000. They have a shortfall every month of $1,000, right? But they're living a good life, borrowed time. The person who has $1,000, that $1,000 is their disposable discretionary income. They can do what they want with it. Everything is paid, and the month that $1,000 is free and clear.
I wish we could find some of those people on the island because I can't see anyone legally making $1,000 a month being able to, at the end of the month, have that.
What I was trying to get at is, on the face that you said that the person who makes $5,000 would presumably look at as being better off, right? But at the end of the day, the person who only has 1,000, but that 1,000 is free and clear to do with, everything else is paid for, right? However that comes about, let's go on the premise that, all things being equal, it's all honest money. All expenses are paid. One person has $1,000 left a month to spend. The next one on the $5,000 a month salary has nothing. Is the $5,000 salary a person better off, quote unquote?
No, I think we'll have to do some serious analysis as to why this person is making $5,000 is $1,000 in the rate at the end of the month. I mean, something doesn't seem to be adding up quite right there. So without giving a blanket answer, no, I think that would need some further analysis.
And that's what I like with you, man. You could be a budding economist, man, or a good public servant. But you are right, and this is why the question initially is like, how do we measure? Do we understand what we're utilizing? And less sometimes is more. More is probably just worse, right? And how are we measuring? To your question, are we better off now than we were 10, 20 years ago? And in what ways are we not?
Right. But again, if we're just leaving it as a purely looking at it financially, we talk about this economic success that we have. Yeah. Now, did we bring along sufficient Caymanians who share in that economic success? If not, why not? If we can determine why not, then we know what we have to fix in order not to repeat those same mistakes going forward. But again, we need that those targets that we can measure, so we'll know whether or not we're meeting those targets. Not because our GDP went up from let's say 30,000 per person or whatever. So now 40,000 are Caymanians better off. But without the targets that we can measure, we're just spinning our wheels.
Well, it seems like nobody, or most of the governments that I've seen, they have not been focusing on those types of targets. Mainly the targets is, different, more on the revenue coming in, how much revenue they're gonna bring in, and that's probably where we've got ourselves into the unfortunate predicament that we're in right now, because the targets or the focus has been about raising revenue. Right?
Yep. And like your gracious host there, more is not always better. No.
Yeah.
Going back to what we were saying a little earlier concerning this status by investment or from the residence by investment or whatever. Yeah, I mean, a number of countries have tried that, and I suppose some have been more successful than others. I personally don't agree with it. And one thing I totally don't agree with is a non-national from any country come here and get permanent residency or Caymanian status, but they keep the original residency requirements. For example, let's say someone come from the moon, they get Cayman status, but they also got the right to go back to the moon. Now, a Caymanian doesn't have any place else to go generally, unless they have acquired citizenship from another country. But in my view, if you come here, you want to become a Caymanian, then you will be no better than the average Caymanian who has no place else to go. You have to forego your existing immigration status from where you came from.
Steve Ebanks, sir, we have a break and some calls. I don't want you to feel disrespected. Anything else you want to share, sir?
No, I think that is enough for today.
Okay.
No, but keep it up, man. We catch up.
All right, man. Talk to you soon, sir. All right. And to respect, to our callers, just let us take this news and join you right after.
This is the People's Radio Station. Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands. From Radio Cayman's newsroom, this is Headlines.
The headline news is brought to you by Kirk Market.
With your latest headlines, I'm Felicia Rankin-Solins. Following a review of the Health Services Authority's pharmacy procedures and controls, on September 19th, a senior pharmacy staff member has been placed on required leave. This will allow for the continuation of a comprehensive internal investigation of HSA's procedures. There will be no interruption of pharmacy services during this time. In international news, the first in-person votes have been cast in the U.S. presidential race between Donald Trump and Kamala Harris, a milestone moment that comes 6 weeks before Election Day on November 5th. Virginia became the first state in the country to allow in-person voting on Friday, and early polling sites will remain open there until November 2nd. Some long queues were seen as voters cast ballots on national, state, and local levels. The situation in two other states, Minnesota and South Dakota, is different as voters there can only hand in absentee ballots in person instead of mailing them. America's 3 Mile Island Energy Plant, the site of the worst nuclear accident in U.S. history, is preparing to reopen as Microsoft looks for ways to satisfy its growing energy needs. The tech giant said it had signed a 20-year deal to purchase power from the Pennsylvania plant, which would reopen in 2028 after improvements. The agreement is intended to provide the company with a clean source of energy as power-hungry data centers for artificial intelligence expand. The plan will now go to regulators for approval. These are your headlines. I'm Felicia Rankin-Solins.
www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Check out our social media pages: Facebook, YouTube, X, formerly Twitter, Radio Cayman Headline News.
The DVDL Customer Support Unit is now open. Customers can book appointments for written and driving tests through DVDL's hotline at 945-8344. That's 945-8344.
When it comes to weekly meal prep, I trust Kirk Market to provide the best value for quality proteins. The butchers at Kirk Market are super helpful. They always slice my steaks perfectly. Kirk Market has everything I need for healthy and flavorful protein-packed meals. From lean cuts of CAB choice beef, tender CAB prime beef, the juiciest pork, and all-natural hormone-free poultry, to their seafood section with everything from fresh local snapper to omega-3 rich salmon. I choose Kirk Market for the highest quality proteins to support my healthy lifestyle. Kirk Market. Eat well, live well, and discover a world of choice.
Radio Cayman Talk Today continues.
Hey, welcome back, and thank you very, very much for joining us, and to Nobi for inspiring discussion. We got a couple more calls, man. Let's take some. Hey, welcome. Thanks for calling.
Good afternoon, Mr. Serlo.
And to you. How are you?
Oh, not bad. And Mr. Nobi, how are you doing today?
Good afternoon. I'm all right. Thankful.
You know, I want to say something when it concerns investing in Caymanians. They're very brilliant, very brilliant Caymanians. I mean, for example, if you have a young person or middle-aged, whatever, that they can design a bicycle, have them made in another country, because, you know, we can't make them here so easily. You don't have the factories and that sort of thing. Car parts, you know, having the products made by, you know, having the flag on it, whatever. You got a bicycle product, you got art sold over there, or you got music, you got whatever it may be. But we need to pump some money into this country. We need to figure out and say, we need to say to ourselves, what is this silly young man about? What is he about? I heard that one is into art. I heard that he's into this, he's into that. Let's go and talk to this guy and see what we can make out of these people, out of our people, instead of just not doing anything and having people turn worthless and become like as the gentleman would say, riff-raff. Come on now. We got to focus on our people, and we can't just leave it to politicians, but it would be good. It would be good. They got the culture ministry, they got this other area and everything else. Look at our people and say to ourselves, I just ask ourselves, what do we think we can make out of this young man or young lady? You see people in the arts and crafts, selling craft, arts, selling art, art, whatever it is, trying to do some business. See what we can make out of our people. See what we can make out of our people instead of just, like I say, ignoring our people. People turning worthless and when nothing, and they were so good at this and they were so good at that. We need to look carefully and invest some, not only money but time. Sit down and talk to the person and find out what they're really about, their skills. I mean, like Mr. Mario was saying, making Cayman great again. How do we do it? It got to be with the people. There's so many different ways that this country could be greater and stronger and more powerful. But I believe this is another area I believe in focusing on. Making money over in other countries and pumping it back into Cayman. And I'm sure it can be done.
Yeah, well,
a lot more.
I thought, that we can pursue sometimes maybe on the fringes and maybe just outside the box. But thank you for sharing your views with us, right? Let's take this next call. Hey, welcome. Thanks for calling. Yeah, hello?
Mr. Dwayne.
Man, I just thought about you yesterday. I haven't heard. How are you?
All right, yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
Everything all right, though?
Always, man, always. How are yourself?
All right, man. First of all, I just want to say, please let's stop the animal abuse, psychologically and sexually, please. Just make sure that the Cayman Islands is free of that. You understand? Because we don't need no more. At least we don't need that. You know what I mean? So, let me jump on the subject now. I just had to say that to make sure, that I on my levels. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. So, the Cayman Islands worth $16 billion, sir. You know that, though?
16 billion.
16 billion. Now, what our major product is to be worth $16 billion. You export anything around here? You sell seashells or conchs or anything? I don't believe so.
Uh-huh.
But 2019, we also had $50 trillion running around amongst us, and nobody that can't get nothing of that. So when they're talking about marching out and demonstrating, we can't go for like little crumbs. No, we want a slice. So we can't go, but we gonna go for, or we just want good roads or good garbage or anything like that. No. They try to make us believe so we're not worth nothing because we're sitting down on the trees or, they try to make us feel that way, but no. $16 billion is something we worth out of that $16 billion. So they have to make sure that everybody know that. We have to make sure that when we come to stand up, we don't just come in to stand up. We come in to stand up and move forward. It's like they want to keep us backwards. You want something to export? Come back to my subject about the ganja. Let's start export ganja. I'll pay $100 for anybody that want clip leaves a day. I'll pay that. You talk about people that got business sense. That's what the man was saying just now. I got business sense. I'll pay a granny $100 a day to sit down and clip ganja leaves once they legalize the thing. You talk about money. You can't play about they don't know what to do and then only tourism is our major income. Don't fool us. Come on now, man. We better than that. In elections not gonna change that. We have to go straight to England and we have to tell them, we being disenfranchised majorly. What we're talking about is a part in South Africa what you call apartheid. That's what we're talking about, That's what's going on here. I got to prove that I'm a Caymanian. You hear how I sound? Who else got accent like this from anywhere else around the world? I don't know nobody that can speak like this. I must prove that I'm a Caymanian in my own country to people that are not Caymanian. Do you understand or do they not understand? Like, what they doing? I think they understand because if they really was to be a conscious-minded person or somebody that not evil, they would stop it right away. You born here, but you're not Caymanian. No. So what are you trying to say then? No, Mr. Dwayne. I'm sorry. Anybody don't want to agree with me, but not too bad.
Yeah, man.
But that's straight, Mr. Dwayne.
Hey, you got to believe in something. You got to recognize and respect who you are. If not, people will walk over you, right? So.
How you know where you're going if you don't know where you come from?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, we got to think about the ganja thing. No, we can't mess with no dog. We have to come and say what really going on in the ganja is only a device to hold people back. That's why we don't have no young voters registering. Talk about they're not thinking about ganja. No, they're not thinking about ganja. They're thinking about alcohol. They think about alcohol when they get drunk, crash, and then have smoke ganja because they can't drink no more. Yeah.
Always appreciate you putting it on the table, man. All right.
I hope they love it, man. Thank you very much. God save the animals.
All right, take care. Can we take the next call before the break? All right, let's take this next call and then we can have a conversation after. Welcome. Thanks for calling. Yeah, hello.
Good afternoon.
Hi, how are you?
Oh, I'm right here, blessed, highly favored.
Well, I hope you never forget that.
I had started talking like American too.
I mightn't be able to hear you, but go ahead.
I talk like a yardie.
That would make it even harder.
Yeah. The deputy governor, he trying. But maybe he was trying to say that our government department is that our big shots and management higher ups they hire when they feel like or who they want and when they feel like. Maybe that's probably what he was trying to say. That's what I said maybe. But anyway, and he was speaking about this what you call second chance thing. So I'm wondering if this second chance thing now is another thing taking a chance with our Caymanians again, because how much people getting a second chance out there? Is it only those that probably coming from prison, or those that went to prison, come out of prison, or didn't go to prison? And another thing with the second chance thing is that within the government department, you got to be so careful with it, because sometimes you have some managements and stuff in there and higher ups and stuff like that is in charge of the departments and managing the departments. It's like, they want to run these departments like a clique, like a gangster style. So, they want to hire who they feel like hiring. You understand? And some of Cayman is so small, everybody know everybody. So, they know who you're for, how you speak up, and we can't hire him, or we can't hire her, or he belongs to this woman here, or he belongs to this man here, or, you got to be careful that these things is not going on. They calling it a conflict of interest in a different way. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like the deputy governor might not be like there to over the interviews or what is going on. Maybe some people don't even reach to the interview. Some people don't even get an interview, and then maybe not even the HR is taking that responsibility of telling a person or persons that they can't be or they're not hired there. Maybe the management or supervisors is already saying it before the person even get an interview. And sometimes the directors probably don't even know about it, chief officers, you know. So it all depending on the management. And like I said, this thing is like sometimes it runs like a gangster style, and don't even think about trying to break up corruption in government. Don't even think about it. You understand? Because your own people that's supposed to be upholding the laws are breaking the laws and causing the problems and running the racketeer and running the government department, and nobody can't speak to them. Nobody seems like can do anything with them. There's like they come in like they're untouchable. You understand? So it's like sometimes I look at it and say we have gangsters on the road. We have gangsters inside of there too. You know, and they're worse gangsters because they're covered, they got their ties, and they're covered, and they're in the managerial section. So you don't even suspect them. And even if they're doing it, they deny it. You know, it's most likely to get in the way. So it's like I don't know what to say. And majority of the time, it's our own people. And if you have status holders or people that come here and work on contracts, get mixed up amongst them, they get destroyed. And if they don't do what they say, you understand, they end up not renewing these people's contracts. You understand? Sometimes you see that they come there and they want to clean up the place. They turn them against the workers. And then, so it can be on their side, and whenever the management or the director, whoever it is that comes to kind of run the department from overseas or whatever, and when they catch on and say, oh, it's not the little small man that's doing this, you know, it's the management that is carrying on with this stuff. You see, from the time they catch on, the management go up against them, and that's it, boom. Stop their contract, maybe they even go up to the deputy governor and get everything, you know, get it done. And the poor deputy governor don't know what's going on. He probably hearing their story, but he not hearing the right stories. You understand? So this is the problem with these government departments. You know, it needs a serious purge out. Like I said, sometimes I feel like you could take those fire hose and go up there and hose them out. Because it needs to be dealt with, and it is with our own people. And you can't say anything to them. It's like a disease that they have. They want to continue to say you want more Caymanians in these positions. When we put our own people in these positions, some of them are the worst. They are the worst. They are worse to you than the foreigners that is in those positions that are working amongst you in those departments. So you don't want to talk about we want Caymanian HR and we want Caymanian supervisors. No, that's foolishness. You have good foreign people that are good supervisors, good managers and stuff, but what happened to some of them? They drop their contract and send them back home because the Caymanians themselves in the departments want to continue to carry on their racketeer. You understand? And at the end of the day, maybe the deputy governor know, but poor thing, he hands his tie too.
Well, I certainly
Because
appreciate.
remember, at the end of the day, the civil service can go against him too and remove him, just like a politician. Just like a politician. Okay? The voters can remove the politicians. Okay? The civil servants can remove the deputy governor too. It only takes a petition. It's just like you in a department and you want a movement, you want people to, your workers to have a raise or better treatment in the department. All you need is to sign a petition with 5 people on it, 5 workers, okay? And that goes to the civil service, president of civil service, okay? That's all you need, 5 people. But the people in the department are held so hostage and so afraid and so shut down that they would not sign a piece of paper petition of 5. Because they're afraid of losing their job. They're just afraid. As simple as that. The fear is killing them.
Well, hopefully we'll find that courage and not be so afraid. Hey, thank you for putting that.
Before she leaves?
Yeah.
She there?
Caller? Yeah, nobody?
Well, I just wanted to tell her personally before she got off that I respect her coming forward and making those comments, because I've heard similar situations, and I've worked in government for many years as well. But I hear that they have. I don't want to mention the name that I've heard, but there is something that is lurking within government that is making it difficult for the MPs and other people to make things happen. And she has some good valid points there without me actually being in there, but just listening to what she has to say. So
all right.
I hope we could find a balance and somehow weed that out.
All right. Let's take this final break and ask you to join us when we come back.
Did you know ordering your favorite sandwich from Subway just got easier? Yeah, picture this. No more waiting in line. No more fussing with cash. Just a delicious taste of Subway at your fingertips. With our new app, ordering your go-to sub is as easy as a few taps on your phone. Plus, receive exclusive deals and earn loyalty points with every purchase made on the app. Download the new Subway app today and get ready to ditch the lines and drive straight into your flavor. Visit the App Store or Google Play Store on your mobile phone and search for Subway Cayman Islands. Subway. Eat fresh.
Freedom, Cayman Rack. Freedom, Little Cayman. Soft breezes, blue waters, no traffic. Unwind and rejuvenate your mind, body, and soul. Sister Island Staycations, a taste of freedom. Discover all that our sister islands have to offer.
Find your dream car with a Cayman National Vehicle Loan. Enjoy 100% financing, up to 8-year repayment, and a 7% fixed interest rate for the first 5 years. For eco-friendly cars, we'll waive your commitment fee. This only applies to new vehicles. Call 949-8300 or email lending@caymannational.com today.
The offices of dermatologist Dr. Wayne Porter will be taking appointments 23rd September to the 28th at his Crew Road Clinic. Appointment slots are limited. Whether you're seeking advanced skincare, Botox, filler, cosmetic skin enhancements, or simply looking to reduce wrinkles, Dr. Wayne Porter offers a full-service dermatology and dermatological surgery practice. For more information, email drportercayman@gmail.com. That's drportercayman@gmail.com. Call 946-9020 to book your appointment today. That's 946-9020.
Accidents and illnesses can strike without warning. Ouch! When it comes to urgent care, every second counts. At Doctors Hospital, we have a dedicated team of experienced doctors and nursing staff available to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Don't waste time in an overcrowded emergency room when you need urgent care. Whether it's a broken bone, a severe infection, or a sudden illness, trust in Doctors Hospital's unwavering dedication to providing the best immediate care. For complete urgent care when you need it the most, choose Doctors Hospital, located in Georgetown, 16 Middle Road.
Now, more than ever, supporting your immune system is crucial to helping your body fight off illnesses like the common cold, the flu, and COVID-19. At Valley Med Pharmacy on Walkers Road and in Buttontown, we carry all the essential vitamins and minerals to help support your immune system and improve your overall health. Some of our top immunity support picks are vitamin C, vitamin D, zinc, elderberry, and quercetin, or the popular 7-in-1 immunity support. Our pharmacists are always on hand to help guide you and answer any questions. Visit Valley Med Pharmacy on Walkers Road or Buttontown. Live happy, live healthy with Valley Med Pharmacy.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Hey, welcome back and thanks for joining us. And we made the ride down. Did you literally ride your bicycle this time? Because you're an eco rider, man. You cycle almost every day.
Trying a thing, man.
So at the end of the week, what, hundreds of miles you cover?
Yeah, 118 so far this week. This week so far, yeah.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. But I it's a very interesting sport, and once you get into it, it's just challenging yourself. But for me, busy season come up soon, so I'll be doing tours regularly. So it's always good to be.
So you're in shape physically and mentally.
Yeah.
The ride.
Yeah.
And then the speed at which you ride.
Well, thankful to Mr. OC and all those guys riding in the mornings, and my good friend Steve McDermott, and so much good people out there, Vernon, Denver, just so much. We've got John Christian, Brent McLean, of course, with us, Bicycle Doctor. They've introduced me into the sport, and we've been riding quite a bit, and I really like it, to be honest. Yeah. It's a very, very good sport. I never thought I would be riding a bicycle, doing a tour, and cycling like we do is two total different things. And when I say cycling, there's different types of cycling. Again, you got mountain bikes and all that, road cycling. But the cycling that I do is more endurance. So we're not really going the 20 miles an hour like some of those other guys, because some of those guys are very, very fast, right? But we go for a long time, like 60-something miles on the weekends. So that's the interesting thing that I like.
Yeah, and you get to see. I think when you're riding or walking, imagine those who run would say the same thing, but you get to see a lot easier and better and more.
Yeah. Well, to be honest, what interests me most is, and this may sound like weird and like that, but I'm just fascinated with sunrise, sunsets, and I believe, and I think I've said this on here before, that one of the best times of the day is at sunrise. So if you get up early and think about it, you're riding from like 4 a.m. or 3 a.m. some guys, and you see a sun rising up. It's just a different feeling. So
it is.
The Daybreakers crew been doing this for 40 odd years with Mr. OC and those people. I'm just trying a thing. It's just stepping in, trying a little bit thing. I'm not nowhere near what those guys been doing.
And this is when you reference OC and to watch physical exercise, what it does for the body, but also the clarity it brings to the mind.
Yeah.
And then the camaraderie.
Yep.
I'm glad you share with me, your ride. It seems like an enduring task.
It is. But like I said, as you do it, you got to keep going. So as you do it, you get better and better. You got to test yourself, though.
Yeah. I'm glad that you're here. And I know every time we come in, we get a chance to chat about your passion.
Yeah.
For those who don't know, mine is chocolate. Yours is
cycling. Yeah. Well, the one other thing I always got is updates, and I guess people would say you go in a broken record, like that guy says. We've been talking about these issues from way back when. I don't know how long you've been in Cayman, but I graduated from university in 1994, and I was listening to talk today back then. That was Mr. Val Lichtenstein, that's his name, right?
Yeah, he did it for a short spell.
Right.
Interesting, not as long as many of us thought.
But was that his first one that started, or Mr.
Doran Miller used to do open line on the Monday nights, right?
Right, but the one in the morning.
Then Val did the lunchtime show for a bit, and it's continued since.
And it's been going, but I think that he is right that even with politicians being elected, and we have this platform, people are opening up, but we have to take an action, and that action might have to come from the people, not necessarily representatives, because it seems like in order to get something done, they need to know that something isn't right. Other than that, I've been always talking about the Collier's pond, right? And I actually made it known to representatives, everybody, talking about the benefits of it, what I thought that we should think about getting the pond, just in case nobody does know. But the government has spent a lot of money on properties, a lot of money, and no one has made a thought of even negotiating with the landowner for the Collier's pond, right? There's a lot of properties that have been purchased in East End, which is great on one hand. I'm still of the opinion that I don't know how we're gonna pay for it. That's why we just had one set of revenue measures come out, and we're gonna have more coming out. I don't know if it's gonna come out before election or when, but we have to pay for it, and that's the that's a situation, I guess. So, just my update on that. I'm still very interested in seeing the government or the property of the Collier's Pond to be owned by the government or some entity that it can still be viewed and used by all people of the Cayman Islands or people visiting, because I think it is a very interesting location.
It's interesting.
I'm not going to comment on all the other spots that we purchased. That's one I'm still interested in.
All right. We have time for a call, Mr. Fox, if it's coming in the WhatsApp. Is that possible? Nope. Can't connect it up. All right. Well, Dobie, thanks for coming across.
Yeah,
I hope when you come again, we can always enlighten and encourage. Hopefully, we can inform, instruct. At the end of the day, though, we can show that courageous commitment, to our country through that sense of us deploying our requisite skill sets. So, have a good weekend, my friend.
Yeah, man. Thank you.
All right, so listeners, Monday rolls around. We want you to join Mr. Art for the record. I believe if you didn't get a chance to listen today, you missed a bit, go back to the YouTube and watch this morning's show with Mr. Art. You get to hear from the Deputy Governor and the MP, Kenneth Bryan. And good to be informed. Have a wonderful, safe, productive weekend. A lot of things are going on. Next Saturday, a quick heads up, the Clifton High School PTA is having something, but tomorrow, the high school here in town, the John Gray High School, they're having a family fun day. So go out and support that. There are a couple of other things on tomorrow night if you heard about it, but if not, Monday, Miss Leanna Tibbetts was here early in the week, and she's saying on Sunday, as a public invite to the launch of our Proverbs 31 clothing line. Show your support and take your family, your children, and the young entrepreneurs in particular. And of course, any trip to East End is a good day, right, Novi?
Of course.
All right. Well, enjoy yourselves on the road. Be careful, be safe, be mindful, be productive, be pensive, be positive, be prayerful, and purposeful above all. Until Monday, be blessed.
Talk Today is brought to you by Subway, open 24 hours in Countryside, Anderson Square in Georgetown, and Centennial Towers in West Bay. And by the Ministry of District Administration. Explore your history, explore your land, explore your sister islands. And Cayman Airways. Call them on 949-2311 to book your nonstop flights to Los Angeles and Panama. And Doctors Hospital. Peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctors Hospital, always there for you. Call 949-6066.